Welcome to the Lexus Postgame Report, brought to you by Northtown Lexus.
Sabres improved to 25-16 all-time in Game 4s, including 11-6 on the road. And perhaps most importantly, they are 7-0 all-time when leading a series 3-1, which they are now after taking 2 in Boston and in lopsided fashion today.
It's the way that the Sabres have been able to go in Boston and really impose the way they wanted to play. Look, the first 2 games in Buffalo, other than that 6 minutes at the end of Game 1, like it was not the way the Sabres wanted to play the game. And then the way Game 3 started, from the midpoint of that game, you start to wear and tear down the Boston Bruins. They were tired in Game 3 in the third period. You took over that game, and then you started the same way here in Game 4.
And while the second period saw a little Boston push as far as shot attempts, it was mostly Buffalo for the better part of period number 3, already up by 4 when Beck Malenstyn gets his first playoff goal.
This is great for Beck Malenstyn and that line. Obviously, they have been able to play a role that is very significant to the success of the Sabres. But I love that he gets bumped a couple of times, find his way to get his stick around, and that is a really nifty deflection on the back end to elevate it right over the glove of Swayman to make it 5-0.
Alex Tuch leads the team with 6 points now through the first 4 as he caps Buffalo's scoring on the day.
What a pass by Tage Thompson. And I get, like, Tuch is driving the back post, stick on the ice. What a pass. But look at how Tuch is in the middle of 4 Boston Bruins. And that was the night for Jeremy Swayman. When he went to the bench, he let his bench know. Like, even though it was 4-0, 5-0 at that point, like, these are situations where Boston have allowed the Buffalo Sabres to get in there. Kind of like this, a 5-minute major to end the game, a little, kind of let down a little bit, giving up a goal to the Boston Bruins. It doesn't matter. At the end of the day, like, the numbers are the numbers, but it was the type of game Lindy Ruff wanted his team to play for Game 4. They were dominant from start to finish.
The late goal by Kuraly just means that Tucker, May, Zhitnik, and Doan have the all-time Game 4 winners against the Boston Bruins. So it takes a GWG away from our Lexus leader on this day, who is Peyton Krebs, who is not far behind on the scoring list here in the opening round. He has really just... is it possible, in your opinion, that he has exceeded what he's shown during a breakout regular season?
Absolutely. I think that the confidence with the puck, the plays that he's able to make with Thompson and Tuch, I was wondering if he was going to have the skill set to be able to complement those two and create some offense. Not only has he shown the skill set, now he's shown a finishing touch. That first goal, that shot, you look at him like looking at the top of the net, and Swayman's taking away the bottom of the net. You have a defenseman in the way. He's able to make that play. But what we've seen out of Peyton Krebs is a little sandpaper grit that adds an element to the line on the forecheck, on the back check. Now you see Thompson and Tuch on that first goal, being able to recover at the blue line, playing a little bit better defensively. It makes a total difference on the vibes on that line. And even after Austin came back, I was like, well, maybe Benson goes back to that top line. But every time Krebs shows that that's where he needs to be, and he's performing well.
Yes, he and Byram have 5 points in the series, just 1 behind Tuch. And then there's a bunch of firsts on this day, which is always impressive and applaudable. Zach Benson, Beck Malenstyn, Josh Doan, all scoring their first career playoff goals today. And should mention, of course, Tyson Kozak with his first playoff assist.
Yeah, so the total feet distance from the goal on those 3 scoring their first goal was like 12 feet. Like, they were all around the crease. Malenstyn deflection. Benson was actually in the crease. Puck goes up with his leg after the drive. And Doan, the backdoor deflection on the back end. That was just at the end of the power play. So, you know what? You want to score in the playoffs? You got to pay the price. You got to go to the front of the net. Those 3 were able to pay a price and get rewarded for that. I thought that was the depth, right, of the Sabres that has been able to shine in these moments.
Incredible what a first period like today can mean for a netminder. It was a record-setting road first period for Buffalo today, scoring 4 times, and that allowed Alex Lyon once again to just settle in. He now has 3 career playoff wins. They've all happened at the Garden in Boston, and he was, despite the score, very much full marks for this.
Oh, it was full marks for a lot of big saves in the second period, especially, and the composure and the calmness that he's brought to the team. Look, game 3, a lot of big saves early, a lot of saves on the PK. This is at 4-0. You make a save on a breakaway. The penalty shot save on Arvidsson in game 3. Arvidsson left the game after just 3 minutes of ice time. So that will be interesting to see what happens with him for game 5 in Buffalo on Tuesday. But Alex Lyon, after making the goalie change, look, this has been the bread and butter for the Sabres this year is being able to use everybody, especially when it comes to the crease. They use all 3 goaltenders, but Lyon has seen himself also getting on streaks this year and winning consecutive games and feeling like he's in that groove, and he's shown that now in the 2 games in Boston.
Sabres continue to be the best team and best road team since December 9th, and that's where it really turned. That night it was Lyon in goal, in relief in Edmonton, and today another start, another win. Didn't matter about the special teams, even though you technically come out on the wrong side of it with the Kuraly shorthanded goal late. But Buffalo, incredible start to this game. Shot attempts end up being, as you would expect, quite close based on score effect after Boston was just dominated in period number 1.
But even in the third period, it was 22-16 for Buffalo. I mean, it's 5-0, 6-0. I think that the message after 40 minutes was, look, we can't just back off and play our heels. We got more hockey to be played here. You got to continue to play the right way so you can build for game 5 and more. And so the third period, they outshot Boston, they outchanced Boston, they outshot attempted Boston. That was a little adjustment for the third period.
It was, and it featured, as many guys as possible. Obviously, we didn't see Kozak and Zucker on the bench in the closing stages of period number 3, but they were utilizing everybody here throughout this, and obviously ends up being a 6-1 Sabres win. Back to Boston we go. The guys are with Bo Byram.
Well, Bo, you guys got yourself up 4 goals there in the first period. What is the message between periods coming back out for the second?
You're expecting a push from the other team, but, we just wanted to keep doing what we were doing. We were doing a lot of good things. I thought we just played really fast tonight, and, our forwards did a great job of creating, and, it was a lot of fun. So, sometimes those games are tough to play in. When you get up early, you got to try to continue to gain momentum and sustain pressure. So I thought we did a pretty good job of that.
Yeah, whatever you guys had for breakfast, have it again, all right, before the next game. Don't wait till dinner time to have it. Listen, you talk about playing with speed. Can you speak to the connectivity, though, with the team? It's one thing to get up ice quickly, one player at a time, or move the puck quickly, but you seem to be doing it. It's never just one guy. There's at least 2 guys, maybe 3 on the attack there that's helping you make that play at the line.
I think it's just something, we've worked on all year. The coaches preach playing fast and getting the puck up the ice quickly, but like you said, sometimes that can get you into trouble if you're giving it to someone with no support. So, I thought we did a really good job of that. We kind of came up the ice as 5 and, made it real difficult on their D and their forwards to kind of contain us up the ice.
How about the layers of defense you guys got? You guys are going at them. You're buzzing the puck. You're on top of them. If they miss the first guy, you got a second guy. Then you got the third guy. It's so hard, it seems like, for the Bruins to get anything going up the ice. Yeah,
for sure. We talk about it all the time. When our forwards are forechecking and tracking like they were tonight, we're a really good team and we're tough to beat. It just allows, D to play aggressive, pinch the walls, and really give the other team no time and space. So, I thought we did that to a T tonight.
You're playing you're playing with a lot of different defense pair or partners, rather, depending on the moment of the game. But can you speak a bit to how Owen Powers handled this first-time playoff experience for him and how, at least in our eyes, we've seen his game mature, and we've talked about that in the broadcast a few times.
Yeah, he's been unreal. Made a few really good plays with the puck tonight. Froze the guy on my goal there, and then was just distributing it all night, moving his feet, and he's been a blast to watch and super fun to play with.
Bo, you've been on fire offensively, 3 goals in this series. Some said here between periods up here that you snuck downstairs to get your picture with the second greatest number 4 ever to play the game, the Bobby Orr statue. Is that true?
I don't know. That might be rumors.
All right, listen, thanks so much for joining us. Let's get back home and get to that next game, shall we?
Yeah, you betcha. Sounds good.
Job,
thanks,
man.
Guys.
12 Sabres, thanks guys, with points on this day, including Bo Byram, who was one of 4 to have a multi-point performance. And it's almost still hard to believe because you expect these mature answers from Bo. But being asked about Owen Power, They've played almost the exact same number of games, 323 for Power, 328 for Byram, but the experience in postseason play is so significantly different, as Byram, a cup winner with Colorado, a finisher today